Build a shutdown ritual at the end of each trading session. Don't just close the platform and walk away. A shutdown ritual. Give you an example. You journal, right? You log your trades. Do your journaling, right? You're gonna journal, write it down, and then go ahead and if you're gonna journal on your chart, you can also journal on your chart. I showed y'all how to do that by using the text tools, right? You can use these arrows to point at different things. Come on now. You can use like arrows to point at different things, right? Then you can use this tool. Let's say you want to say what this is, right? Then you can add text. You can say, this was, I'm just making this up. Just giving y'all some examples. Market structure shift, hypothetically speaking. Or it was whatever it is that you're trading. It was, let's say, say you're trading the HSS and you're like the perfect doji that you need to have, right? Because I know you need that doji has to be bigger than the candle before it to enter in, right? You can say something like that, or you can be like two flat bottom momentum candles, something like that, or whatever it is. You got all these tools. That's what they're here for. That's why I love TradingView. You can also do other things. You have like the trend line tool. You can do trend line stuff, right? And then you could do a trend line, and then you can do your text box there, and you can say what this is. It was a squeeze or whatever it was. But you can use also, I would also recommend, like I said, not just having a written journal, but also you can also journal on your chart. And when you journal on your chart, it stays there. And you can always go back and see it. So you have a couple of things you can look at. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on your chart, you're using arrows and the text feature to highlight your trade on what everything was, right? All your different steps. And then your journal will be like talking about the entry price, talking about like what you were feeling, if there's any emotion, like all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way that you can also, journal. But I'm just saying, like, all this is a part of the ritual, right? Of the ritual of when you're ending your day. I end my day the same way every day. You know what I mean? So, because remember, you want to create a psychological boundary, right? Meaning between your trading mode and then whatever you're going to move into after that. The main thing that this is for, it's critical for your mental health. Mental health is very important. That's why it's good to have routines, especially in trading. You know what I'm saying? It's also a way to decompress, because once you go through this little ritual and you're done, and then you log off everything, you're done. You've journaled on your charts, you've journaled you wrote in your journal, you did everything that you did from a ritual perspective, and then you're moving on. And that's what you want to do. You want to create that habit. You want to create that routine, and you want to do the same thing every day. We talk about being robots, right? In our trading game. So we always want to show up on the charts doing the same thing, and then we also want to end our day doing the same thing. So just keep that in mind. Think about it. If you don't decompress, you can possibly carry like the session's emotions into the next day or into the rest of the day. You know what I mean? And that can do what? That can cause you to, how would I say, compound poor decisions. You always want to make sure that you start the same way and you end the same way every single day. Remember, trading is probably 90% psychology, 10% application. Literally. It might be 95-5, but we know it's at least 90% psychology. All of this plays into the psychology part. Whatever your ritual is, whatever that is, If you want to log off first and then journal, I mean, I like to log off when I'm done. That's one of the things I like to do. When I know I'm done trading, I log off. Keep my charts up, but I log out of my accounts, turn my copy trader. Sometimes the copy trader might be on, but I definitely make sure I log out of my accounts. I do that first before anything. I think that's just something healthy to do. I don't want to see anything and something trigger my mind and I think, oh, let me jump in. Like, no, ain't no jumping in. So I shut it down immediately. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. The journal is good. Like, just imagine if you had a digital journal, right? Then you had a written journal and then you journaled on your chart. Like on your chart, you're just gonna put like what you did. Like, this is my entry, this is my stop loss. And then you can put other things like whatever other things that you had. Like if you're trading the HSS, right? You could put like my two flat bottom candles, 2 momentum candles. My doji was bigger than, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're trading the DS, you can put like market structure shift, a candle that with a little text box, MSS, and you can put fair value gap, boom, entry was here, boom, stop loss was here with a little arrow, or your little text box, TP was here. Like you'd be surprised on how invaluable that stuff is. And then you go back, just like I always talk about going back and reading your journal on Saturdays. You can go back and when you're reading your journal, every day you can look at the chart and correspond it to that day. If you didn't take a trade, then you could even put on your, if you're journaling on your chart, you could just put no trade, sat on my hands. And of course in your journal, you're gonna put no trade, sat on your hands, and then put why. Price was choppy, my strategies did not set up, whatever the case was, but you want to journal everything. That's what a journal is. Think about a journal just like if you had a journal for your personal stuff. What do you do in your journal? Personally, right? People that have journals, they write in their journal every day of everything that went on that day. I got in trouble by my mom grounded me, whatever. Whatever, just think about that. It's just keeping an account of everything that you have going on that day, no matter what it is. You don't journal just because you took a trade. No, you don't have to take a trade to journal. You journal to just have the data of what happened that day. So if you went, like I can go on my journal and I can go back and I can look back like last year and I could read my journal and be like, oh, on this day, this happened. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I know what happened that day. Didn't take a trade, took a trade went against me, like all that stuff. So just the shutdown ritual is all a part of that, especially at the end, because you're not going to journal when you first start, right? But a shutdown ritual, definitely you want to have your journaling in there.